Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto, or welcome to the channel if you're new. And in this video, I quickly wanted to do a rundown of Mantra, or Ohm. That's what we're talking about here, which had one of the biggest crashes I've ever seen in crypto. It happened around, from when I'm making this video, probably like 2 hours ago. I was in the train, I saw it, and I immediately posted about it on X. But I also thought, well, a couple of days back, I actually saw something about this, and I knew some people were not necessarily expecting this, but they were taking it into account, that something like this was happening. So I just wanted to do a quick recap of what went down, but then also what will happen now. All right, do we still have some sort of hope for some sort of recovery? I know it sounds crazy after a crash like this, but we will talk about that. So let's get right into it. I mean, first of all, when we're talking about Ohm, for a lot of you knew this, but almost one of the most manipulated cryptos out there. I mean, if you take a look at the 3-day time frame chart here, through all the bearish market circumstances, almost one of the only coins that actually held on very, very well and continued to stay very, very strong. And you can see it was pumped up, like basically this entire move right here. We actually had decent volume at the start, but basically the entire move right here, from $1 up to 8.5 was with relatively low volume, except for this one big move we had the 17th of November, when obviously the markets were also very strong. So to get some sort of a crash, that was to be expected. And I also found some old Telegram messages from me talking about that, but that was expected. And we also knew, and that is essentially what one of the main things, what was one of the main things that caused us for Ohm, is that the team cornered the supply, right? The team had about 90% of the supply. Now, did they sell the tokens, or did they sell their tokens to a different party and they sold the tokens? In the end, I don't really think it matters, because it's the team that's responsible, and I think they've also closed down the Telegram group right now. But what I saw 2 days ago is this, all right? And a big shout out to Mosey right here at Vanna Charmer. Or at least there were some channels where Ohm tokens were put on OTC deals, right? Or at least OTC deals were offered, were basically over the counter, so bypassing the markets, you could buy over $5 million of Ohm. So whether the team sold this OTC and those who bought it OTC sold all the tokens, or the team was not able to sell a lot of tokens right here and they said, fuck it, and there goes my monetization. But they said, fuck it, and we're just going to sell all our tokens. It could be one of those two. We'll never know. We don't know who controls the tokens. We don't know which wallet belongs where. There should be a major investigation in this, but it's going to be very, very tough. Ohm, I think, has their own network as well. And it's going to be, well, I wouldn't say necessarily impossible, but it's going to be very, very hard. Now, Ohm was a relatively serious project. They had some major partnerships, and you can also see a lot of funds invested in that. But ultimately, this is a good reminder that it's nowhere safe. All right, all altcoins have, well, I wouldn't say a possibility of doing this. I mean, Ohm was already very, very cursed. But in the end, having holding one token with a huge percentage of your portfolio, I think, is not done in crypto. So yeah, just a brief recap. What basically happened is that this was already a super manipulated coin. Market makers, in combination with the team, pumped up the tokens, of which they held more than 90%. And then they tried to sell the tokens OTC, over the counter. They either succeeded in doing so, and some sort of a malicious party bought them and started dumping it, or they could not sell enough OTC and they started dumping it themselves, or they did sell OTC and then they just dumped it, basically leaving those who bought OTC with worthless bags. Whatever it is, it seems like the team and the project are fully out. Now, what does that mean for the price? I would say it's over. Can we still get back to the prices right here? No. Can we still get back to this balance right here? No. Maybe if we get some sort of a big fund stepping in, then we could have one major short squeeze, and I think some sort of a short squeeze is a possibility as well. But if you're going to try to trade that is called gambling, all right? And that is at least not something I want to do. If you feel like that this Sunday evening, be my guest. But ultimately, I am this is definitely going to be volatile. And I think we're going to get some sort of a short squeeze eventually. But I do think this is the death of Mantra and Ohm, unfortunately. But that is what happened. That is what I think will happen in the future. Hopefully it helps to add some context to all of this. But that's it. Have a great evening. I'll be back with new videos tomorrow morning. And bye.